The average person makes about 35,000 decisions a day, which is why you're mentally drained and you feel like your brain just shuts down by the end of the day. That is decision fatigue. You've made 1,000 micro decisions throughout the day, answered emails, dealt with difficult colleagues, handled work challenges, and then comes the dreaded question by the time the workday ends: what's for dinner? You're too mentally exhausted to even think about what to cook for dinner, and it feels impossible in the moment. That is not laziness or not motivated. It is decision fatigue. And it is one of the most overlooked drivers to burnout. If you're someone who's constantly on, making decisions, solving problems, leading teams, this video will help you understand why your brain feels overloaded and how you can regain clarity, energy, and focus. From what to wear, to how to phrase that email, to what to cook for dinner, each decision, big or small, drains a bit of mental energy from us. You may not feel it at first, but by the end of the day, you'll notice it. And for those of you who work in fast-paced environments, it adds up fast. Neurologically, this happens because our prefrontal cortex, which is also known as the brain's CEO, responsible for reasoning and self-control, gets tired. When we have many choices to make, the brain struggles to focus and regulate emotions. That is why by the afternoon, we start to feel it. When I was burned out for all the decisions and tasks I had to handle throughout the day, the toughest one was to figure out what to cook for dinner. And I'm sure many of you can relate. Whether you live alone or you have a family, you still have to figure out what to eat for dinner. There would be some days where I was so tired, both physically and mentally, I would get takeout, which is not the healthiest of choices, I know, but you still got to eat. And when you're burned out and not eating properly, it depletes you even more. Once I understood the functions of the different brain regions, it made better sense to me of why I felt the way I did. Burnout isn't always about doing too much. Sometimes it's about deciding too much. When every hour demands hundreds of small decisions, when to respond, what to prioritize, what to let go of, your brain stays in constant overdrive. It's like running too many apps on your phone. Eventually, the battery drains, not because one app is too huge, but because everything is running all the time. Think about it. How many micro decisions do you make before lunch? Then how often do you experience that brain fog when your workload hasn't changed? That's decision fatigue showing up. The answer isn't more discipline, it's simplification. And one of the most powerful philosophies for that is minimalism. Now, before you start picturing empty rooms and giving up everything you love, minimalism isn't about deprivation, it's about intention. It means curating your environment, your routines, and commitments so that your mental energy only goes toward what truly matters. And when you reduce the physical and mental clutter, it eliminates unnecessary choices, and you surround yourself with what you truly love. Think about when walking into a room filled with clutter, even if it's organized. Don't you feel more stressed than walking into a clean, uncluttered space? The result, less stress, more clarity, and that you're leading the day instead of reacting to it. When I started embracing minimalism a couple of years ago, I didn't overhaul my life overnight. I started small. First by simplifying my closet, then my workspace, streamlining my calendar. I didn't have to attend every single meeting I was invited to. And then creating a few repetitive defaults for repetitive tasks. For me, the decision fatigue started first thing in the morning. I'd stand in front of a closet full of clothes and still feel like I had nothing to wear. My closet was packed, but most of it no longer fit my current season of life. Like many of us, I realized I only wore about 20% of what I owned, just my favorites on repeat. So I decided to do a full closet reset. I kept only the clothes I genuinely love and wear regularly. Suddenly, getting dressed became effortless. One less decision to make before the day even began. I started to make these shifts in different aspects of my life. Then I simplified breakfast. I eat the same thing every morning. It sounds small, but it's amazing how much mental energy it frees up when you don't have to decide what to eat or what to wear. Those small shifts gave me back mental space I didn't even realize I lost. There's more calm in my mornings, and it sets the tone for the day. When my mornings start out calm, there's more focus in my afternoons and a greater sense of control overall. Here are a few ways you can start today. Automate routine choices. Meals, outfits, morning routines, anything to simplify your day. Batch decisions. Schedule time to respond to messages and review tasks. A perfect example of this is instead of responding to emails when you receive them, schedule time throughout the day to respond your messages, whether it's once in the morning, once around noon, and once before the end of the day. That way you're not interrupted and you have focused time to work on the projects that truly matter. Declutter your workspace, including your digital space. When your workspace is less cluttered, your mind is more at ease. That includes fewer tabs, apps, and notifications. Simplified commitments. If it's not aligned with your goals or values, it's okay to say no. Each simplification saves you mental bandwidth to allow you to reinvest that into things that actually move you forward. Burnout isn't a sign that you're weak. It's a signal that something needs to change. And often that change starts with less noise, less clutter, fewer unnecessary decisions. When you simplify, you create a life for what truly matters. I hope you enjoyed this video and it provided tips to reduce decision fatigue in your life. I'd love to hear from you. What's one small decision you can eliminate to make your day feel lighter? Let me know in the comments.